So if we're looking at our people content, our people pillar of content, it's warm content. So that's your family, your friends, your dogs, real life, authentic, relatable, your team, or something happening in your community. That people content would be an example of warm content. And this is really important, this content, because warm content is what makes people feel something. It makes them have a deeper connection with you. It makes them feel like they know you, which obviously if they feel like they know you, they feel like they'll eventually trust you and they'll eventually want to work with you. And what we see with a lot of real estate businesses is it's all about the properties, just posting property after property after property. And there's no relatability in there. There's no warm content in there. You know, every agency looks the same when you're all posting, you know, property after property after property. So building that into your content is super important. Welcome to another episode of the Property Management Podcast. Thank you so much for having me in your ears. Now, if you've been following along on this podcast journey with me, which I've now been going for nearly 2 years straight, can you believe that? Recording an episode every single week. And the reason this podcast started was from a simple mission when I was in a hospital bed after recovering from heart surgery. The reason I was in there having heart surgery and had a heart condition was from long-term ongoing stress and activated nervous system. And it was while I was laying in the hospital bed after I'd had the surgery, and it was during COVID, so I had no one with me, that my mission was born. And that was a simple mission to help other BDMs, property managers, and business owners start, grow, and scale profitable businesses without the stress and overwhelm. And that last part, the stress and overwhelm, is key to my mission. I know firsthand what it is like to reach burnout, what it is like to struggle in all of the important relationships in your life because you are so stressed and you just can't switch off. I've experienced that again recently as I'm undergoing some changes in my businesses. It doesn't ever go away. Stress doesn't actually leave our bodies. Our bodies are actually designed evolutionary for stress. It's what keeps us safe and protected us from predators. But not being able to switch off is when it starts getting to that unhealthy part or point. But this is not an episode about stress. There's plenty of previous episodes in the podcast library for you to go back and listen to episodes on stress. This episode is I just want to share a little bit of my story and how I can help support you and the ways that I've come up with to help support you to avoid some of that stress and overwhelm and make your business journey a lot more fun, easier, and ultimately enjoyable. Because, you know, why do business and why have your own business or work a job and not enjoy it? You spend 8 hours, 10 hours a day there, you might as well enjoy it. So some of the ways that I can support you is my website. If you go take a look there, thatpropertymum.com. There is a host of templates, resources, some free, some a small fee. There's templates and scripts for BDMs, for property managers, for business owners looking to start up their businesses and the steps that they need to take. There is also a lot of different trainings on there as well on the website that you can download and watch for a really small fee. The other thing that I have, which has been going gangbusters this year, is my PM Accelerate membership. And this membership is designed to have a property management business that you can just plug into your own business and get continual ongoing support along the way and training. It is basically all of the templates, systems, processes that I use inside my own business. And I've basically dropped them into a membership that you can have access to at any time, 24/7. You also get consistent access to me as well. So you've got somebody on your team to lean on for support as you need it. So there's links in the show notes to find out more about the PM Accelerate membership. And I've also got a done for you agency as well now. So not only do we do social media, we're also branching out into done for you leads and a few other done for you services we're going to be adding to our books in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for that. But we are launching a Black Friday offer for our done-for-you leads. If you would like us to do your lead generation for you, we give you guaranteed leads with phone numbers and or email addresses and postal addresses as well. If you would like to join us, our Black Friday sale is you get 1 month free, and then it's a 2-month commitment after that for us to take care of your lead gen for you. You get those leads dropped into your inbox every single week. It's a great opportunity for you to grow your own database. So you're growing your email list without having to do the hard work. We take care of all the hard work for you. You don't have to pay for additional software or databases to be able to look for that data. We take care of that for you as well. All you need to do is once you get those leads, you need to just sit down and start making those connections, prospecting to them, whether that's phone calls, whether that's letters, or whether that is via email. That is totally up to you. But we have those guaranteed leads and contact details dropped into your inbox every single week. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, please click on the link in the show notes and we will share more details about that with you. That's our done for you Black Friday lead generation offer. And we are super excited to continue finding ways to make your jobs easier and help you to grow your business without, like I said, I'm harping on about it, I know, the stress and overwhelm. And this episode is a little bit different. I'm going to share some of the trainings that we do inside the PM Accelerate membership so that you get a little bit of a taste of what's in store for you if you wanted to join up and become part of our growing community. Take a listen. I'm going to share with you today how to set up your social media for lead generation, how to grow your audience and following, how to boost your personal and business brand, and overcome your fear, judgment, and confusion about social media. If you're anything like me, I don't like cold calling. I do it, but I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I think letters and flyers are a waste of money, and I really want an easy way to generate leads. So today I'm going to help you if you're that person who doesn't like cold calling, if you're that person who doesn't like letterbox drops and you want an easy way to generate leads for your business. Like all of you, I've had stages where I've had no team, I've had no money, and I had absolutely zero confidence. I did not show up on social media. If you go back maybe 4 or 5 years, you would apart from my personal page, you would never have seen me on social media for my real estate business. I'm also a working mum. I have struggled financially. My business growth has been stagnant and is still stagnant at different stages, and I was unable to balance that work and home life. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I do suffer from ongoing unresolved stress, and which has led to some serious health issues for me. But a lot of that changed when I started That Property Mum. I took a deep dive into social media and digital marketing strategies, and it's how I grew That Property Mum. I've now got a great following. I've got a huge email list, and I'm building an online community as well. When I started That Property Mum 3 years ago, I had no followers, no audience, and zero profile on social media. I've managed to build a national and international audience and community. I get to coach some amazing property managers, BDMs, and business owners. I've also branched out and stepped well and truly out of my comfort zone and created a done-for-you social media management agency, which specializes in real estate clients and businesses. I've launched multiple online courses, and I've got a membership, property management membership, that I've been able to help over 50 members so far. So today we're going to talk about the setup for social media. We're going to talk about what content to create. We're going to talk about how to plan and schedule it, and then how you can simply repeat that process. And I think that covers off on everybody's struggles that we just talked about with social media. So fingers crossed, I've nailed it for you today. So my mission is simple. I just want to share with you all very transparently the steps that I took that transformed my online business so that you can do the same. You can have organic lead generation, you can grow your personal brand and explode your business brand. So let's talk about content creation for new business. So step one is all about the setup. Now, there are so many social media platforms out there now, and it's really can be overwhelming and hard to know which platform should you actually be on. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, Snapchat, there's so many options out there. And if you're still asking yourself the question, do I really need to be on social media? Well, take a look at some of these statistics. More than half the world now uses social media. The average time spent on social media is more than 2.5 hours. And just think about your own browsing habits. How often do you spend on social media? Well, chances are a lot of other people that you know are on there as well for the same amount of time, mindlessly scrolling. It does become a habit. Most people access social media via their mobile phones. Facebook is still the most popular social network worldwide, followed by YouTube, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And TikTok is the fastest growing social platform. Now, when it comes to working out which platforms should you be on, it's pretty simple. It goes back to some foundational work you should be doing in your business, and that's knowing who your ideal clients are. So if you know who your ideal clients are, the people you're trying to target, you want to get set up on the platforms that are most relevant to them. And then once you are on those platforms, that's when you start sharing content that is going to be relevant to them as well. That way, you're going to build know, like, and trust factor. So, for example, if you are targeting buyers agents, chances are the best platform for that would be on LinkedIn. If you are targeting mum and dad investors, they might be, sort of that 40 to 60 age group. Chances are the most popular platform they will be on will be Facebook. Or if you're targeting the young generation of, wealth creators and investors, they are more than likely going to be on Instagram. So have a really good think about the platforms that your clients are likely to be using. And you don't need to be across all of the platforms. Pick one or two major platforms and really focus on them initially. If you've already got one or two platforms, maybe Instagram and Facebook, that are going really well for you, maybe it's time now to branch out and add a third platform in. That could be TikTok or LinkedIn, depending again where your ideal clients are and what that strategy is looking like for you will determine the next platform to add in. So it's really important that your pages, your platforms are set up for your lead generation to be able to capture those leads that find you online. So every social platform that you've got, you should have a high quality profile image. Obviously make sure that the sizing is right as well. You want to have your logo there somewhere, getting that brand awareness started. You want to have a call to action. So you make sure you've got your contact details on there, your phone number, your email, or maybe you've got some sort of a download, marketing report, a appraisal, something that a next step that they can take with you. And you want to have your bio really clear. Who are you? What do you do? And where do you do it? What is the location that you are based in? It's really important. Don't overcomplicate that bio. Just make it really clear, concise, and simple. Yeah, so that a lot of people do spend, way too much time overthinking that. But yeah, just keep it really clear and concise. I'll just show you a couple of examples of what you should have on Facebook. This is called a banner. Make sure you get the sizing right on that. You might want to have your catchphrase on there. You might want to have, a bit of your bio on there. You could even have a testimonial on there. It's kind of the first thing that people see when they hit your page. You also want to make sure that you've got your handle, or your tag, which this is actually found in SEO. So if somebody is typing you, so it should be something representative of your business or your brand. A lot of this most simplest ones like, at property manager Brisbane, or at property manager Perth, or Perth property manager, or Gladstone property manager. They're probably the most simple and easiest to find. They're probably the most easiest, but it is important, if you haven't got your pages set up already, to think about what you're going to use there and to make it easy for people to find you. Of course, you want to have like I said, all of your contact information in there as well. Same goes for your business page. So you can have a personal page or a business page. Business pages I would recommend because you have lots of access in the back end of Meta to a lot more data and metrics. But either or, depending on whether you're, again, building a personal brand or whether you've got your business brand is more important. And if you are setting up a business page, make sure that you include information on the different services that you offer. Having your connection to the Google Maps as well is really important. It just makes that people searching you, searchability a lot better. Instagram's a little bit simpler with the profiling. Again, you want to have that handle that is easily found and searched on Instagram. Of course, you want to have your nice photo or your logo there. And a good tip actually is that make sure that your colors and your branding matches your website as well, because people will often go to your website first and then they will search you on social media. So you want to have everything consistent so that it creates that familiarity. I am really struggling with my words today. And that all kind of keeps building on that trust and that know and that like factor as well. Again, keep your bio really simple and also include a link. So you can have a link tree. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with a link tree, which it's just a software that allows you to have lots of different links, or you might just want to have one link where they either call you, they email you, they go to your website. But it's really important that you give people a next step to either work with you or reach out to you. So that can be a personal preference. Same with your business page, just keeping it really clear and concise who you are, what you do, and where you do it. And that translates then across to LinkedIn profiles as well. I just want to highlight a couple of things on LinkedIn for you. I definitely recommend that on LinkedIn you have your personal profile, because LinkedIn is more about connecting with people as opposed to businesses. Sorry, it's more about connecting people with businesses, not the other way around. When you are setting up, you can have a featured section, which in here, if you are a real estate property management business, I would have a link to maybe a sales or a rental appraisal. You could put in a newsletter or something, some sort of proof, social proof there. And, just things that are going to set up you as an expert should be added into that featured section. Of course, you want to have a good spiel about who you are and what you do and how you help people. And again, it's really important when you are writing these things, it's not about you, it's about the problems that you solve for people. That's a really handy tip to have when you are writing things, any copy that you're targeting to your ideal clients. Make sure that you are speaking directly to the problems that they have. And you may have noticed at the start, of this workshop, I addressed some of the struggles and the issues that you are facing with social media. The same thing goes when you are writing any copy. Make sure that it really hits your clients' pain points, because if they can feel something from what you are saying to them, they can feel the struggles, they're more likely to remember you and want to do business with you. This is an example of a business page on LinkedIn. Just a little tip here as well, in admin tools on LinkedIn, you can actually go and invite connections, and this will actually automatically connect to your Outlook contacts or your different software contacts, and you can actually invite a lot of the contacts to follow you that you've already got in your world. You don't have to go and create a whole heap of new contacts, although you should add that in. But to get started, you can just invite some connections that you've already got. So that's the end of step one, getting set up on those platforms. So let's move on into creating the actual content. So what content should you post? And I'm assuming this is a big one for most of you. Let me know if knowing what to post is probably your number one struggle when it comes to creating content. And it's funny, some people I find content really easy, but a lot of other people, they really struggle with knowing what content to post. So we've come up with a really simple way to create content, and I call it my 3 Ps of content. And it's basically people, property, and personality. And when doing some research in the early days when I was looking to grow my business online, a lot of the experts, and they call them social cue experts, and they did a lot of research on social media and what resonated with people, and what made people click through and want to work with somebody over somebody else. And one of the things that they came up with was that the best performing feeds, if you like, were feeds that had a balance of warmth and competence content. What does that mean? So if we're looking at our people content, our people pillar of content, it's warm content. So that's your family, your friends, your dogs, real life, authentic, relatable, your team, or something happening in your community. That people content would be an example of warm content. And this is really important, this content, because warm content is what makes people feel something. It makes them have a deeper connection with you. It makes them feel like they know you, which obviously if they feel like they know you, they feel like they'll eventually trust you and they'll eventually want to work with you. And what we see with a lot of real estate businesses is it's all about the properties, just posting property after property after property. And there's no relatability in there. There's no warm content in there. Every agency looks the same when you're all posting, property after property after property. So building that into your content is super important. And again, here is just a couple of examples of some warm content. The next pillar, which is personality, that is again warm content as well. And this is your, I guess, who you are. It can be your, how you like to inspire people, how you like to motivate people. It can be stories that you tell. It can be struggles or some sort of a transformation that you've had. You might have had a struggle with, an investment property yourself, and that's why you've started helping investors. Stories and transformations and struggles are really powerful. My best performing content is always when I share a story about some sort of a struggle and how I've overcome it, or if I admit that I don't even know how to overcome it. I'm struggling with this. I don't know how to fix it, but that is always my best performing content. It makes me relatable. It makes me real. I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect, but it does create a connection with people. And then the final pillar is our property. So there is a place for property content, and this is where it's your competence. This is where, and competence is basically the social proof that people need that you do what you say you do. You do have a real estate agency. You do rent properties. You do help investors. And this content, you could post listings or leased properties or your testimonials or case studies, or your educational content would come under this pillar. So again, just some examples of reviews is a really simple way to create that competence content. And I just wanted to show you a couple of feeds now. These are just Instagram feeds. Obviously, this is mine. So this is my Instagram feed. You can see that balance in there of that warmth and the competence. Obviously, I don't take myself too seriously on social media. I like to have fun with it. I like to show my personality. But I do have the social proof. I do have a podcast. I do conduct workshops. So I'm hoping you can see from that what I'm talking about with those pillars. Same in my real estate business. You can see that I am showing you that social proof that I do rent and sell properties, but I've also got my people and a bit of personality in there as well. These are some clients that we work with through our Done For You social media. And I just want you just to observe, the different balance there. And just on note on that personal content, across all the clients we now work with, we track the metrics every single month. And every single month, the personal content, the posts with their puppy dogs, with their children, with their team, those personal posts outperform any other post by a country mile. So if you're not posting any personal stuff, make sure that you get started posting some personal stuff. And that's where a lot of, I think, the fear and the judgment all comes into it. But And it comes back to this old saying that, people don't want to do business with businesses. They want to do business with people. They want to have a relationship with you. So even if you're not the face of the business, somebody needs to have that personal touch on social media for people to be able to relate to. So the simplest way to create content is grab a pen and paper and sit down and just brainstorm some ideas. I've created a few ideas for you here, but you'll be surprised at how many things you'll come up if you just sit down with a pen and paper and you just think about all the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Think about all the things, the ways that you can educate a tenant, the ways that you could educate a property owner. What is the most common thing that comes up for you? Take a phone log in your office. What's the most common thing that people are calling about in your office, and create some content around that. That's probably the simplest and easy way. You can stalk others' feeds as well. Research other content online, see, what you like, have a look at other people's feeds and see whose feeds you like. Look at reels that are trending. You can just jump on the reels on your phone and you'll see all the latest trending reels and pick one that you like. Or just record little things that you do every single day, getting ready to work, driving to work, in the office, people answering the phones, people giving out keys. Just take photos while you're doing an open home. Just start just taking while you're sitting working on your computer. Like I'm sitting here now recording this. I've also got my camera up here recording me doing this because I'll create some content around that as well. So, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Get somebody to sit and film you while you're typing on your computer. You just have to do it basically. Another way to get great content is to book in a branding shoot. And again, you don't have to have a big budget for this. You can just go to your local coffee shop and sit down and get somebody to take photos on the iPhone of you, working, of you drinking your coffee, or it might be just you talking to the barista. It might be you walking in the local park. It doesn't have to be expensive or overly complicated. You don't have to have your hair and makeup done. But having those images done in advance means that you've got a bank of content. So it's easy for you then to start planning out your content. If you do invest in something like a proper photo shoot or content creation day, you can get videos, you can get reels. And we just recently did our very first proper professional shoot. And I reckon we've got probably 6 months worth of content. And like I said, try different things, typing on computers. I've got lots of podcast content, which I didn't have before. Yeah, celebrating wins and it's actually really fun, and a bit of team bonding as well. Through my Done For You business, we actually go into businesses now and do these content creation days for them. And we create reels, fun reels, we create video content and a whole heap of posts as well. So a half a day is all it will take, and probably can get away with doing one every 6 months. But totally, it will make creating content and having images and a library of things to use so much easier. I want to share with you, I'm not sure, I'll jump in and show you I was not sure whether I was going to jump in and do this, but I will. I wanted to show you how to use ChatGPT to write. So I won't go into all the depths of ChatGPT, but I'll just give you the simple version. So I put this in earlier. Hey, Chat, write me a social caption about why you need a professional property manager. Include hashtags and emojis. So this is what it's come up with, which is pretty good. So then you can ask them to expand on it. So, you might say, hey, Chat, add some more details about the bullet points, and it will expand on those bullet points. Or you might say, I only want 3 bullet points, reduce it to 3 bullet points. The other thing that you can do is say, hey, Chat, now make this a blog for me. And blog for me, mention how I think property can, you can put your actual website in there, february.com.au, because then it will search it, can help investors. And now it's created a blog post for you. So this is an easy way. I mean, you could even just ask Chat, hey, Chat, I'm a property manager based in Brisbane. Oh, can't spell. Please give me 10 content ideas to attract new investor clients. There you go. Just like that. And then you could actually just, ask them to expand on, say, this one. Please, give me write a script for, well, that's probably not a good example, but write a script for the market insights and trends in Brisbane right now. And then you might have a little video script that you can use. So I just wanted to log out of my emails while I'm there because the pinging is annoying me. But yeah, that's how to use captions in ChatGPT, which I think is really cool. If you're ready to be a super organised, focused and productive property manager, buckle up because Colmio is about to revolutionise the way that you work. Colmio is the driving force behind property management excellence in residential real estate. Now picture this, a comprehensive end-to-end system designed to be the beating heart of your property management tasks, manage your properties, owners and tenants, and handle payments, inspections, and even marketing listings without leaving the platform. Colmio is designed to be an all-in-one solution to all your property management needs. And here's the game changer. Colmio isn't just software. It's been awarded the most innovative prop tech scale up in 2023. Yes, you heard it right. Colmio has been recognised for their groundbreaking approach to property management software. How good is that? So property managers, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, dive into the future of property management with Colmio. You can book in a demo with the team today and go in their weekly draw for a Prezi gift card worth $100. All you need to do is to head to the link colmio.com/thatpropertymum, and Colmio is KOLMEO. So if you are old school and you are not using ChatGPT, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you are, there's a simple formula for writing captions, and it's basically like when you used to be at school and you had to write an assignment. It's your introduction, or it's called a hook. You want to hook somebody in, you have your middle and then you have your end, which is basically a call to action. So you want somebody to take a next step with you when you're writing a caption. Hashtags are a really important way to expand your Instagram audience in particular and get more reach. So when you use a hashtag, your post will appear on the page for that hashtag. Here are the most common property management hashtags. You can write them down. And I would also make sure that you include your location in your hashtags. So hashtag Brisbane, hashtag Sydney, hashtag even specifically your suburb. It might be Bondi Junction in Sydney. Get really specific in that area. And if you are connecting with local businesses or trades, make sure not hashtag them, but you can them and add them into your social posts as well. Now, some people like an aesthetic, and that basically just refers to the visual look or appearance of your content. It's mainly relevant for Instagram if that's going to be one of your platforms of choice, and it just can demonstrate your personality, establish a mood or a tone. I get asked this all the time, what is an aesthetic? And so I just thought I would if you're not sure, just kind of touch on that really briefly. It's basically your content has a familiar theme. For my real estate business, we have our aesthetic really just is the spots that we have on our feed. If you scroll through it, you'll just see that, and that's part of our logo and branding. So the best software for creating social posts is definitely Canva. It is so user-friendly. You can create your static posts, which is just obviously your single posts. You can have carousels, which do perform really well with the algorithm. You can do your reels and videos now as well. A great tool for video content, which is an AI tool, it's called opusclips.ai. And that basically what I'm going to do with the video that I'm recording from today's session, from today's workshop, I will drop that video into Opus Clips and it will snip up the entire workshop for me into 60 or 90-second little videos, and it will auto caption it as well. It actually does the research on the best captions and headings for SEO as well. And, I can potentially have, 20 little videos that I can use for content in the space of an hour or so. CapCut is a great app that I recommend downloading. It is, again, really user friendly. And if you are, like I said, just taking little snippets, little videos, photos of your day-to-day life, you can actually just use a template in CapCut and which has a trending sound to it, and you just upload your videos or your photos into it and it will automatically create a reel for you in the click of a button. And then you can share that across all your social platforms. It literally takes you 5 minutes to do it and you've got a reel posted. If you go back and have a look on my That Property Mum reels, a lot of my photo ones and little video ones, like when I'm traveling, they're all CapCut videos and they're super easy. Even I can do them myself. Super easy to do. InShot is another app for videos and reels. I find it a little bit more complicated than CapCut, but I'm time poor like many of you. I just want something really quick and easy that looks good. Let's move on to step 3, planning and scheduling. Top social media planning and scheduling tools. I absolutely love Trello. It is my favorite, although we have just come across a couple of other platforms that are combining the features of Trello into the planning of Trello, as well as the scheduling tool element as well. So Plannable has some amazing features and we've just moved a lot of our clients across to Simplified. It is pretty much the same as Plannable, but it's a little bit cheaper. You can get free versions where I think you get on Simplified, you get up to 2 platforms you can share across. Later.com has a free version as well for scheduling, and so does Meta. Once you get the initial setup done with these scheduling tools, it's super simple. Usually the free versions of anything, though, will have limited features and you will only be able to share, like I said, across maybe up to 2 platforms. The top plans on Plannable and Simplified are amazing. Not only can you plan out all your content, you can share it across, all of your social platforms. It's unlimited social platforms. You can also do a lot of your engagement with people in there as well. And you can even now share and schedule stories to appear as well through those top plans on Plannable and Simplified. So have a look at them. But like I said, I'm still using Trello to plan out all my content. I don't like change really easily. And I will show you in a minute my Trello board. So if we go back now, I'm going to give you content plan right now. So if we go back to the 3 pillars, the people, the personality, and the property, and we're looking at building in that warmth and competence content into it. So here is what your content could look like. So for example, on a Monday, we're going to have a warm content day. It could be a quote, it could be a lifestyle or a local business post. Tuesday, competence, it could be a blog, it could be a did you know, or some sort of an educational video or reel. And again, these can be static posts, carousels, reels. The format doesn't matter. Wednesday, again, is going to be your warm content, which might be images of you, your team, your dog, your family. Thursday could be your competence content again, which would be listings, leased properties. And Friday, again, would be another competence day. It might be a testimonial or a case study. And if you wanted to add in weekend, Saturday or Sunday posting, you would then balance out. We've got 3 competence. You would then balance that out with a warmth post. It might be you going for a run on the weekend, walking your dogs on the weekend, having a cocktail, whatever that is. And then literally you just repeat that. So if you used a quote one week, the next week might be a lifestyle post. It might be a really nice aesthetic of a kitchen reno. The following week, if you used a blog one week, it might be an educational video the next week. And but using those pillars, you just create your content and then you just repeat that content. Plan all your content in advance is going to make it so much easier. Then you won't feel stressed, you won't feel overwhelmed, and you won't forget. So we plan out all of our content and our clients' content in the first week of every month, and we try to have about 6 weeks in advance of content there. The only content that we don't plan out in advance is we usually leave a Thursday or Friday, where we will share property content, which will have obviously your just leased and your just listed properties, and they usually can't be planned out too far in advance. So if you want to have one day a week where you just are in the moment and you post what you're doing there and then, that's totally fine as well. But, maybe a good starting point is to have 3 scheduled posts every single week, and then you slip in whatever is in the moment posts there. But at least 3 times a week you're going to have some content coming up. My best social media tip is to repurpose your content. You don't need to create brand new content all the time. You could literally take one blog post. So you could get ChatGPT to create you that one blog post, and you could turn that into multiple pieces of content. You could actually have a whole month worth of content. You could create a podcast episode from that blog. You could have multiple social posts. You could have a carousel. You could have a quote from it. You can have story posts created, videos, reels, newsletters to your clients, or even a weekly email if you wanted as well. There are, the really smart content creators repurpose their content using exactly what I'm sharing with you now. It's how I do it as well. So my podcast is my main piece of content every single week. I turn that into a blog for my website. I turn that into social posts. I use it in my newsletter. I actually use it in 2 of my newsletters. So I have the podcast release newsletter that goes out every week, and then I have a more personal newsletter that goes out on a Friday as well. And a lot of that is just repurposed content. It's got more personal stuff in it as well. I like to make my newsletter more personal and relatable, but it does have a lot of repurposed stuff in there as well. So, none of us have got time. We're running real estate businesses, we're property managers, we're BDMs. We're not full-time content creators. Let's be real here. So you've got to find the hacks and the easy ways to do it. So repurposing is probably the number one tip that I will give you from today. People always ask, how often should you be posting on social media? And nobody actually really knows. From my experience, my posting and the clients that we work with, we have that. We think that 5 days is enough. 5 days is definitely probably the sweet spot, but it's important that you are not posting for the sake of posting, that you're posting with intent. There's a goal behind each of the posts that you're putting up there. So it doesn't really matter. But the algorithm does reward you. The more consistently you post, the algorithm actually does reward you and will share your content out to more people the more you are showing up. I don't know why, but nobody actually understands the algorithm, but it does seem to, the more you're posting, the more it rewards you. The more, I guess it's that, the more you're using it, the more they're going to, favor your content, I guess. Definitely use stories if you're not posting on stories. This doesn't have to be curated and planned out. It can be just stuff that you're doing in your general day-to-day, doing an open home, doing a property inspection, using a new camera, bragging about your rent arrears, whatever. It can be just really simple. But a lot of people are getting, especially if Instagram is your platform, people are getting really lazy. They're not actually scrolling down through the feed now. They're going across the top in the stories section. And you can actually build some good engagement in stories if you are asking questions. People can comment. So use that a bit more strategically. But in the video content is absolutely essential. If you are on Instagram, you really need to be using Reels. The algorithm rewards you tremendously for using Reels and using Reels consistently. We've got a client actually that posted a 3-second reel on Monday, and within 15 minutes, she had 6,000 views. I'm not kidding you. It's unbelievable. And I can't actually tell you what reels work because no one actually knows. Like, it's the most random and easiest, simple 3-second reel, whereas the ones that you seem to put a lot of effort and time into will flop. You think are, really, really creative and, or quite funny or really speak to your clients, they'll flop. But a 3-second one will all of a sudden blow up and go viral. So yeah, it's about testing different reels, but the algorithm does push your reels out to a lot more people outside of your actual followers. So, we've got clients with only a couple of hundred followers, but their real content is reaching thousands of people. So it is really important for that brand awareness, that brand exposure, getting people eyeballs on your reels is really important. Engagement is really key as well. It's not about how many followers you've got. The algorithm actually rewards engagement. So if people are engaging with your content, they're liking it, they're sharing it. And if you are sitting here thinking, oh, well, nobody's liking or sharing my content, are you actually liking and sharing anyone else's content? Because sometimes you've got to give before you receive. So don't just be a stalker on there. Get out, like people, follow people, comment, share their stuff, build some community. Your local businesses, get out with the accountants and comment on some of their posts, or the buyer's agents, or even other property managers from interstate. Engage with with their accounts as well, because you never know that they might, see your profile, resonate with it, and, have referrals or whatever. There's a bigger picture to it, and social media is designed for us to be social. So if you are social on there, again, the algorithm will reward you as well. And a little tip, if somebody does comment on your post, make sure that you respond and thank them, or give them a thumbs up or something, because even your response is regarded as engagement. And with the algorithm, when people are engaging with your content, it deems it as being really relevant and people liking it. And of course, it's going to push it out to more people. And also get into people's DMs. It's a great way to open up conversations and ask questions. I get so many people messaging me these days, and having those conversations when I do have a workshop or something that, coming up, a course launch or something, because I'm already messaging with people in the DMs, it's not like I'm being really salesy. It's just, hey, I've got this coming up. Would you like to join it? It just creates a bit of a deeper connection there, or it's a different way of building a relationship. If you don't like picking up the phone and calling people, or have the time to pick up the phone and call people, get into people's DMs and have a conversation. Social media, like I said, is not about getting the clients right now. It's like a nurture campaign, and people need to know you, like you, trust you first. The reality of marketing these days is that I think it's something like, I could be wrong here, but I'm just going to throw this number out. It sounds right. I think people need to see you at least 12 times. It could even be higher than that now, I'm not sure, before they remember you or your brand. So if you're showing up in people's feeds consistently, they're seeing your brand. But we don't know whether people are going to reach out to you and become a lead because of your social media. It could be because of your signboard they've seen. It could be because of, I don't know, other marketing activities that you do, your cars driving around in the local neighborhood. But the important thing is that your brand is being seen in multiple places, and that you're giving yourself every opportunity for your brand to be recognized in your local area. And social media is a really simple and easy way to do that. Once you have a content creation strategy in place, you can pretty much set and forget and know that your social media is working as part of your greater overarching marketing plan. So make it happen every single day, or at least week. And the biggest thing, I think, that, and a few of you mentioned this, was, was your fear of posting, your fear of judgment, all of those limiting self-beliefs that we've got. I'm not good enough. I'm not an expert enough. I'm not pretty enough. I sound really nasally. That was my big thing. I hated the sound of my own voice, or whatever else you tell yourself that's stopping you from showing up on social media. It's all just a story. And the reality is, people actually are not really that interested in you. We're all self absorbed. We all only care ultimately about ourselves anyway. And people are scrolling through so quickly. They rarely have time to judge. And if they are people that are judgy, they're not the right people for you to be working with. They're not the people that you want following you or part of your world. So let them go. Sorry, Sandra just asked, can you overpost, which was probably a while ago now. Sandra, if you're creating content that doesn't is not intentional and you don't have a goal behind it, then yes. If you're posting just for the sake of posting, then I wouldn't. But, sharing content that's providing social proof, that's showing your personality, that's demonstrating that that you do what you say you do. You list and rent properties, you educate investors. That content all is intentional and it all has a goal with it. If you are just posting a random coffee photo, which is fine, but what is the caption saying? Is there a call to action in that? Like, it's got to have a purpose behind it, not just throwing up something and for people just to see, I guess, is probably the best advice I can give there. And again, automate those tasks with a scheduling tool. It will be an absolute game changer. If you can sit down just for one day a month or half a day a month and plan out your whole month's content or 2 months content, and it's all done for you and it's intentional, there's nothing stopping you from there. Like it's a game changer in my opinion. So please, whatever stories you're telling yourself about why you're not showing up on social media, get rid of them, journal them out, and just do it. When I started That Property Mum, it was in COVID in 2020, and I forced myself to do a video every single week because I just had such a fear of it. I just knew I had to overcome this fear. And you can go back through my feed and you'll actually see these cringe-worthy videos. And I used an auto cue, what was it called? Big VU, it's called, which had like an auto cue, so you can actually see my head reading this auto cue. They are so cringe, but I did it, and now I don't have any problems jumping on, doing a video. Actually, I still do have a problem with Facebook Lives. I've done a couple, but I'm still not 100% confident with them. But just normal videos that I can pre-record and throw up, no problems at all. So let go of your fears, let go of your limiting self-beliefs. And if you're sitting here, you've probably said to yourself multiple times, I've got to post today. I've got to post on social media today. Oh, better make sure I get up that post today. I bet you that a lot of you can relate to that. Well, if you follow this process, you can just repeat it. It'll just be something that will be part of it, like any other system in your business. This content creation will be just part of a system, and you can just keep repeating that process. And you'll never have to say to yourself, I have to post on social media today. I have to post on social media this week. No, it's already done for you. It's done every single day, week, month, whatever schedule you want. In fact, I will share with you, my son is a BDM in our real estate business, and he has got, I'm not sure exactly how many, but he has got at least 3 or 4 new clients in the last couple of weeks from sharing his reviews on his social media, the reviews from clients. He has got direct leads from those reviews that he has shared. So I'm telling you, there is definitely more and more, increasingly more value in generating those leads from social media. It's a great way to get your leads organically. You can, ultimately, it's all about, though, increasing your personal and business brand awareness. The leads are the cream, but it's all about getting your personal or your business brand out there, getting all your local community knowing about you. And it also, once you've got a process like what I've just shared with you in place, it's actually going to free up your time so that you can deal with those leads as they come in. It's going to reduce your stress and overwhelm, having to think about what to post, when to post, how to do it. And ultimately, I hope that it will help you grow your business and generate more income. Thank you very much, guys. I will let you get back on with your day, and I'm super grateful that you guys took some time out to spend it with me today. And I hope I have given you some value and some ideas and got those social media juices flowing for you. Have a great day. Can I ask you a quick favour before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.